It's about 1 pound of Twizzlers.
They make those out of horse hooves?
8 ounces a day. Yes, I'm 100% sure. Actually, honestly, I mean, do we know? I mean, wouldn't that be the more natural thing? My guess is it's probably petroleum now.
Yeah. Hey, it's good to see you guys, man. I really missed seeing you.
Yeah, likewise. Sure. It has. I've been kind of antisocial the last few weeks, honestly. Aside from a few texts and phone calls.
Yeah.
I've been kind of trying to get things into some kind of rhythm for the new year, as we're already in the second month. Yes, indeed. So
today's my brother's birthday.
Happy birthday, Sam Gurton.
Yeah.
I actually am sorry that I couldn't work it out to come down and see him. I mean, I literally have not laid eyes on that guy in 20 years at least.
He's
I never met him.
He flew down to Atlanta to be with his girlfriend, who's 25.
Yeah. See, that's kind of always been his thing, though, right? Wasn't there a time when he was dating a girl that they dated other girls together at the same time? Wasn't there some weird thing like that?
Probably. I can't keep track of it.
The man's a player.
He's very busy.
Yeah, you'll have that. I sometimes me and Herr Driscoll will wax poetic about young beautiful women, but the whole truth of the matter is I wouldn't have the energy for that shit. I've told a million people a million times, you know, if you date the young, you have to do what the young do, and I don't want to do all that. What's going on with you?
Steve, what have you been up to? Have you done any session stuff or remote work?
Or anything?
Yeah. I did some a mastering session a couple days ago. The guy sent me a song. I mastered it for him, sent it back.
Right on. Work is work, right?
I got my living room set up again.
Show us.
Right.
You're the only one of the three of us that's mobile. Show us how you got it set up. Billy, did you get new glasses, or have I just not paid attention before?
Best thing is one button.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I got some acoustic treatment there on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yep.
My guitar's looking good.
Over here.
My amp's looking good.
It's ready for you, man. It's crying out. Billy. You know what we should do to kind of ease back into getting together and playing again, just as a thought. And I know we've done a little of this already, at least with some of the older, newer songs. But we should have one of those living room sessions where we go down. Oh, look, the snarling dog. Jay Hopper will be happy to see that that's still around. That the blue tube?
It's a multi-chorus.
Oh, I think that's mine too.
Yeah. All your stuff's on the mantle. I got 1, 2, 3 of your pedals.
Okay. I want to point out that somehow in one of my acquisition things, I brought a bunch of shit home from the farm one day, and I got this. Hey, Stevie, look at your phone for a second. This is not mine.
Really?
Yeah, I suspect that nobody liked it or something and cared enough about it to claim it. But I was just laying stuff out, and so this may well be yours or somebody else's even. I don't know, but this is definitely not mine.
Oh, I might have gotten that at work.
Right on. And I do want to say that the delay I took, because I know you're using the one that works, but this one, I don't mind telling you, it's pretty fucking exciting because you never know what the fuck it's gonna do.
Oh, really?
I enjoy it, and it'll literally. I haven't been able to find a power supply. I don't know if you have more than one there, Stevie. I know I had one that goes with the board, but I had one of those like 9-volt power supplies or 6-volt or whatever it is, the ones you plug in. I can't find it, and that delay, the fucked up one, it'll go through a brand new 9-volt in a couple of hours. It'll just be over.
I got a drawer full of
power supplies. Oh, I was really hoping you were going to say something like that. Billy, what's going on with you? What would in the unlikely event that Brent watches this, give us the update on the latest house.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Do you have an offer in?
well, we did. We've done that several times.
Yeah.
I mean, like the last one that we put an offer in, it was like the day the house went up. I
Yeah.
saw it and told the agent, let's go look at it. I said, okay, I feel really good about this. Let's offer, I don't know. And they'd be like, okay, they're getting multiple offers tonight and going to decide. So they want your best offer. And I'm like,
Right.
well, I'll pay what they're asking, but
Right.
you
Yeah,
gotta
that's the
start
thing.
coming
Is it,
over that.
yeah, that's the thing. And it turns into this ridiculous circumstance where how much over the actual value are you willing to screw yourself out of?
Yeah.
My buddy, my buddy
It's-
Ryan went through that too.
Yeah. So the agent was like, bid 3,000 over what they're asking. And then that shows you're interested, but it's not gonna,
What was
I
the
guess-
percent? What was the percentage of 3,000, or did they say
I forget.
over
But-
asking? Was it 1.5 or something weird like that?
But it's, it's just like, it's frustrating. And when it first started happening, it was especially frustrating because all of the emotional energy that goes into thinking like, shit, am I about to
Excuse
buy
me.
some place
Sorry.
I'm going to live in for 20 years,
Right.
Uh,
There's a lot of assumptions made, I think, in what people are willing to do. I mean, you're not at a point in your life right now where any reasonable agent is going to think you're buying your forever house. It's not going to be 20 years. It's going to be 8, 7, 8 years, and you're going to upgrade or you're going to downgrade or whatever.
maybe.
I'm just talking about national averages and shit. I mean, I'm in the house I'm probably going to die in.
Well, I'm 46 now. Katie's a bit younger than that, and she's got 2 little boys, and she wants, she's interested in more.
It's a place to raise
So-
them. Yeah, so 20 years isn't an unreasonable assessment at all. But my buddy Ryan, I mean, they bid on a dozen different houses, and they bid, anywhere between 3 to 5, and in one case, at least the house they really wanted, I think they went as much as 10% over asking price. They didn't get any of them.
It's just,
They
it's
didn't get any
ridiculous.
of them. It is. It's insane right now. There's just this weird conflab of factors: low interest rates, a lot of discontent among homeowners, and also a lot of greed among homeowners, thinking they'll be able to get better than they might otherwise. And the thing is that the pool of home buyers is pretty big right now because inventory is small, but that's not going to last forever. I mean, people like you are out there getting fucking frustrated. Eventually, you're going to sign a lease somewhere, or just stay where you are.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm sorry it's going badly.
Oh, that's fine. I mean,
You're happy with your agent, right? You're happy with they're finding you properties, they're taking you places.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
making Good
yeah.
advice, good advice, all that.
yeah. And on the plus side, work has been great this whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm happy where I'm at. It's just, wanting to, other people are starting to get eager for us to find a place with more space.
Are you
Yeah.
renting right now, Billy?
No, that's
No,
Billy's house, man.
Yeah. I bought this house. It's been about 10 years now.
Yeah,
So
that's about right. It's a little long.
are you waiting to put it on the market?
Yeah. The deal is like, once I find a place, then I would say, okay, I'm going to buy this new house, but it's contingent on me selling
This
my
one.
current
Yeah.
home. And then I would have, like 30 days to sell my
Now
place.
is your
Katie
agent that
the same? Is Katie in the same?
Yeah.
oh, she's got a place too?
Well, she'd be moving into the new place.
Right on. I gotcha. No, I was just wondering if there was like another property that had to but is your real estate agent going to handle the listing of your house too? Is that part of the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good incentive all around. I mean, shit.
I've been
Pain in the ass though. Adulting sucks.
Yeah, earlier tonight. What I've been trying to do every couple of days is like, there was the long list of things to fix around the house that like I was
Yeah.
fine with falling apart, but
Right.
then-
Yeah. Little shit.
then it's like packing up stuff that I know I'm not going to need in the next year, like 30 coats, or like tonight I was packing up some of my records and stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to be listening to Ricky Skaggs anytime in the next year. I can go ahead and
You're good.
Oh,
put the shelf away.
That Ricky, you know what? I predict
Little
right
Ricky.
now. And sometime like mid-March, maybe early April, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, where's that Ricky Skaggs
Yeah,
record?"
right?
Where's that little Ricky Skaggs record?
Yeah, where's that record? There's that one tune. I really want you to hear this. It's gonna be very
Yeah.
meaningful right now.
I know I've got it somewhere.
Right. It's in a box shoved in a corner of the basement under 34 other boxes.
I'm still making my way through that Chuck Berry box set.
Dude, I have the hardest time. I've only succeeded a couple of times in pulling shit that you've been emailing me and getting it into my iTunes. That's a convenient form for me to listen to. But I've saved like every one of your emails. There's quite a fucking collection now. In fact, Christina remarked the other day, she's like, "What is that folder?" I'm like, "Take a look." It's like 300 records that Billy has sent me. And it really is pushing that kind of number right now, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I can only think of two I've actually succeeded in getting over, and I think it was for whatever reason I was really interested in. One of them was that the jangle pop thing, the REM influenced bands from the mid. And sorry, Stevie.
Go ahead.
No, I can't remember what the other one was. There was something else that was very. Oh, I tried to get the new Dinosaur Jr. record just out of raw curiosity recently, and for some reason it wouldn't let me download it from the Google Drive or something.
Yeah, that's a really fun record. Now I've only listened to it once, to be fair.
Right.
But man, it's just like the familiar voice and the familiar guitar tone and sound.
Right.
And it's just like a feel good record for our generation.
Instantly familiar.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. See, I kind of get the sense that and Stevie, you might want to speak to this too, especially when you were in your touring days and you were being exposed to a lot of different shit. But like me and Breen used to compare notes a lot on stuff that was coming through down the pipe and stuff. But Mike seemed to have this kind of consumerist attitude. He didn't listen to things to like add to his library. He listened to things, formed an opinion on it, and then moved on to the fucking next thing, you know? It wasn't a lot of stuff that stuck hard enough to like make it into the collection, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering, I mean, Billy, I suspect that you've got a pretty broad collection, but I was just wondering if it was more consumerist for you, or you're seeking things out for that and dispose of stuff that's not. Like fun record sounds kind of dismissive.
I didn't mean it that way. It was
I know.
a great sounding record. I found it, I don't want to sound like a critic, but I found it very enjoyable to,
Well, you write these little blurbs on every email you send, and it's fucking awesome.
But I mean, I go through phases where I'll seek out new music. More often than not, I mean, I go through long stretches where I don't pick up anything new at all.
Yeah,
I think you have a thing for box sets.
Yeah,
that's what I've been sharing. Is I've been trying to upload them. So I've been
Yeah.
sticking with those.
But seriously, I mean, every single one comes with this like maximum rock and roll 2-sentence review thing. It's fucking great.
Usually
It
I
really
grab
is.
those from Wikipedia.
Do you really pull them? Do you really copy them? Really? Oh,
Well,
you just literally shattered an illusion of mine. I thought you were writing that shit every time you sent those emails.
No. I usually point that out, but anytime I get a new, record, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I'd like to look up like the Wikipedia listing for it, and I'll be like, like this, Chris Hillman from the Byrds, like one of his solo records, and I'll be like, oh, no shit, so and so played harmonica on this. I never would have thought that. Or
this
here's
is like
why this is significant. Or
this
why
is like
not.
this is like the beautiful old days when you'd get a record and it would actually be a record and there'd be a bunch of shit written on it you could read while you were listening to it.
Yeah. It's like
Wikipedia now.
It's Wikipedia now.
You gotta look it up.
Fuck all that. I don't know, man. I don't have time to be the audiophile I once was.
Oh, Bill, I want to ask you, all those like, let's say I read like 5 or 6. Here's the complete box set from the Byrds or whatever. Where do you get those?
Where do I get the box sets?
Yeah.
It's all different sources, isn't it?
Well, yeah, sure. But lately I've been buying, like I've had a real bad habit of buying records off of Discogs at night.
Who
You got a midnight Discogs habit.
Who digitizes them is my question.
Oh, anything that I've shared with you guys is like CD when I have it. So I'm not digitizing it. I'm just like
Uploading
scanning it in from my own computer library and being like, here's the link while I've got it.
Mm-hmm.
Does some of those links expire?
No, because like for my work, I bought like the larger Google Drive.
Oh,
So
right on.
It's nowhere near maxing out. And I've like everything that I've sent you guys since the pandemic began. I still have.
Dude, it's serious. It's like twice a week. I mean, there's easily over 100 of those.
It's gonna slow down. That Chuck Berry box set made me slow down a bit on my
Expenditures.
Yeah.
Stayed up a little too late one night. Maybe.
Yeah, one night.
You know, it
One
was
night.
Jimmy D. I saw that Chuck Berry box set. I've wanted it since I heard about it. And for anybody watching, it's like 16 discs, 2 hardcover books, a cloth bound cover slip thing. It retails for like $4.50. I found a website that had it on sale for like $2.50 and free shipping. And I sent a link to that to Jimmy D one night, and I was like, man, I almost pulled the trigger. Man, I'm so close. And he's like, you could tell anybody in the world that's a bargain at half the price. And then I saw it the next day, still on sale. And I was like, fuck it. I'd done like a 60-hour work week, and I was just like,
Have you physically received it?
Yeah.
Is it close by? Why don't you show us this $250 fucker? I like Billy's little break front china cabinet back there.
Little china cabinet.
Now I'm going to ask you the same thing. I asked Billy if he got new glasses or I'm that unobservant. Stevie, did you get new glasses or am I that unobservant?
I did. It's been a while though.
Right on. All right, show us. Now, here's the thing. I'm not, Chuck Berry's.
That's a thick box.
Is it Grubhub?
No.
We're interrupting Billy's dinner.
Grubhub.
I want to say that's the off chance I post this, which I probably won't, but on the off chance I post this, I ordered Grubhub from Susie Wong's over here in Walnut Hills tonight. And it was
This was Katie's mom brought over some casserole or something.
Man, that's sweet. I was just telling Stevie I got Grubhub from Susie Wong's over in Walnut Hills tonight. Fastest, freshest food I've ever had delivered to my home. And unfortunately, it wasn't all that great. But anyway, it was fast and fresh, but it was just okay. Anyway, take us away, Chuck Berry. I mean, it's it's something to look at for sure. Yeah.
We got 3 volumes here. This is
Huge.
CD.
Yeah. Wow. And one of them, he's listening to one of them right now because it's missing.
I had to turn it off to take your call.
Sorry.
I'm trying to tackle 4 CDs every week. I think that's the proper way to digest it without getting blown away. You got this hardcover book. Like Sir Paul McCartney writes the introduction.
Yeah.
This stuff. And then you got this other hardcover book here with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely.
It's pretty nice. It's very nice. Is it 200? Nice. Is it $200 to $450 nice?
I would say if Sistern put out a box set of this quality, I would expect people to pay $300.
I think if Stevie collated everything he'd ever recorded in the era known as Sistern, it would fill about 3 CDs.
It's about 300 songs.
300? Oh shit! That's hell, man. 300 songs. That's fucking 30 CDs.
Oh yeah. Huh.
That's funny. You say 300 songs. I only know like 30.
Yeah.
Shit.
When are we going to put out an LP?
Well, I was just saying that as kind of a primer to not just, it was a minute ago, but as kind of a primer to getting back together to play. And we should have one of those living room recording concert sessions things where 3 of us just sit together and slap tracks together on the newer songs and see how it comes out.
Yeah.
Isn't Wussy doing live video show?
Was he canceled tonight?
Why?
Lisa was sick. Lisa did not feel well.
It
would have been their 41st according to the post I saw. I've only actually saw 2 or 3.
What's going on with Bill Bullock?
Pardon me?
What's going on with Bill Bullock?
I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I hadn't had the gumption to DM him and say, what the fuck is going on? I kept expecting some kind of clarity from the posts, but I'm going to be over that way tomorrow. I'm taking my dad to buy a refrigerator, and he lives right by Mercy West. And I told him today, because he said, somebody tell me something nice. And I said, well, I'm in the neighborhood tomorrow. If you need anything, I'll swing it by. So I'm going to call him tomorrow or text him tomorrow or whatever. See if he needs anything. Maybe I can get some answers for us. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's COVID or if it's something with his feet, or I don't know. I have no idea. I hope he's okay. He seems in good spirits. His view of the Mercy West driveway to North Bend Road is nice.
It doesn't look fatal, whatever it is.
No, it does not appear. It does not appear dire. But that doesn't make the hospital any more fun. You know, I'll DM and see if he needs anything. I can bring him some tacos or a crossword puzzle book. I don't know.
He'd like to borrow your health insurance for a month.
Yeah, he could do that. Totally.
I did notice tonight started to have friends in the Facebook feed saying that they were getting their second shots of the vaccine.
Now I've heard, yeah, my brother's sister, I mean, she works at the VA, so it makes a certain amount of sense. Or my brother's sister, my brother's wife, my sister-in-law. She got her second vaccine, hasn't had any issues whatsoever, but I've heard some horror stories about people getting super sick getting the vaccine. My father got a bunch of emails from like TriHealth and UC Health and shit saying, schedule your vaccine, and the MyChart shit he sends him doesn't work. And he's all hell bent. He's like, I need to get me this vaccine. I'm like, do you? I mean, you don't see anybody or do anything. Can't you just sit tight till it's easier? But, you know, we're trying. Just can't make the chart work.
To all the local pharmacies.
Or whatever. I mean, how does it work, right? Aren't you supposed to, what's the percentage? I forget. I know there's some dissension in the ranks about what constitutes herd immunity, but the vaccination is part of it. A certain percentage of the population has been vaccinated, blah, blah, blah.
I think we're far from that.
Oh, we're very far. Oh, no, that's the thing. We're very far from that.
I think we got a ways to go still.
Yeah, I know. I have no doubt. You want to hear something fucking crazy? My son has to go into school Tuesday. He's got to go to school Tuesday. Cincinnati Public is just like, this is what we're doing. And the numbers are worse than they've ever been. Hamilton County is the worst county in the state of Ohio. Communicability rate is way up here. Cases, deaths, all higher than they've ever been. But now's when it's time for all the kids to come back to school.
And that's because some parents are like, COVID is a hoax. We need to get our kids in school.
I think I almost think it has to still be attached to some kind of fucked up funding thing where if the kids aren't there, they don't get this money regardless. I almost think it has to be that, because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. And we're in between this rock and a hard place. Me and Christina are not real excited about it at all. We think it's a recipe for disaster. But I mean, fuck, Fievel suffered through 5.5 goddamn years of Walnut Hills. He's, 4.5 months away from having a high school diploma that says it. And if we don't want to send him back, we have to enroll him in some kind of online academy and disenroll him, if that's the right term, unenroll him from Walnut Hills. And so we're just like, fuck it. Wash your hands a lot. Here's your mask. Cross your fingers.
Oh, I guess my daughter's telling me that all her friends, they're all going on with their daily activities as if there's no pandemic, because everybody's already had some sickness or the virus supposedly. And
but they're masking and shit, right? They're not just going out like woohoo.
Come on.
Right? No, Billy? No.
I don't want to stereotype the
youth?
Young college demographic.
But there's just no way. Okay. I mean, I don't know. See, that's the thing is everyone in my house has had it, right? And I've been joking with people like, ever since we all got better, we've just been hitting the fucking bars and restaurants maskless going woohoo, because we know we're fine, right? Mm-hmm. We're not, we're going out with masks on still too. We're treating it like, we don't want to get it or give it to anybody else. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just,
sorry, go ahead. Good perspective one night, she's like, if you were 25 right now and this was going on, do you think you would be as cautious as you are right now?
No.
And definitely not. I mean, I kind of actually enjoy not having to go anywhere. I like staying at home, and working from home and, not feeling obligated to go out all the time. But if I was, and I've got a girlfriend and her parents,
right,
and her kids, and
I think those are all like variables. If I was 25 and
Yeah.
had a significant other and a pretty nice setup I was living in and didn't have to go out to bar. If I was 25 and single and the only way I was ever getting laid is if I went out and hit the bars every fucking night, of course I wouldn't get, yeah. You
Is that
know,
the way it was, Scott?
25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 33, 30, you know, I mean,
Panic strict.
yeah, I mean, the thing
Out
is
every
out every night. But the thing is, you know, I don't know. I think regardless of what your perspective is, I know for a fact, me and Christina were talking about this the other day. We've definitely reached a point of convenience adherence to whatever the requirements are. And we were even there before we got to the point where we had it.
Mhm.
You know, it was just like we were being super, super careful until we came upon a situation where it wasn't convenient for us to be super
Do
careful.
you know how y'all got it?
Yeah, I know exactly how we got it. My friend, and it's kind of sad. My wife's one of my wife's good friends, Barb, who she's known since she worked at the prosecutor's office years ago. Her husband died, and Christina. I mean, they've been friends for so long. Christina had to go to the man's funeral, but the demographic and the age group and stuff, nobody was masked up. Everybody's hugging each other and shit
Yeah,
at the funeral.
I went to a
Yeah.
funeral like that.
Yeah, and you know, and Christina was just like, you know, she did the best she could. She definitely had to give Barb a hug, and I'm like, yeah, you hugged everybody in the place. You know, you gave Barb the hug. And I think that's where it came, because the first person, and the funny thing is, the first one in our house to show symptoms was Elliot, and it was about 6 days later. But I'm, you know, I mean, you just look over the last, you know, this whole time we've been together, it was the most glaring outlier event that anybody had taken part in.
You know, I went to 4 or 5 funerals last year. I literally lost count. Scott, you were with me for one of them.
Yep.
All
Elliot's
of them
dad.
were strange, but the last
Elliot's dad's was very, very well handled, I thought.
yeah, the last one I went to was in Warren County, which is, you know, like hotbed of all that. And it was for a guy who ran a like an excavation construction company type deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, lots of people, I don't know, and it's just like packed in like sardines.
Yeah.
And his wife was considered at risk. I'm not sure why, other than her age, but she was behind this plexiglass shield.
Oh man.
Next to the coffin.
And
you'd be in line and you'd say hey to the kids and their families, and then you'd like wave to this lady behind the plexiglass curtain.
Really?
It was so bizarre. And then you'd like look at the guy, you know, in the coffin, and then you take a seat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the grand pantheon of human rituals and interactions, sure, it's not the weirdest, but
Sure.
you know, I don't know. I'm endlessly appalled still, even after all this time, by just the dismissiveness about the whole thing. You know, the numbers have climbed exponentially the entire fucking time. Every single time I've come on here and talked to anybody, it's the worst it's ever been. You know, it's like every time it's the worst it's ever been.
I was at Fresh Time yesterday picking up some stuff, and this,
Did you get some time?
I saw this lady without a mask or anything shopping, and I was like, oh, okay, live your life, lady.
Yeah.
But then I'm looking at some spices, and she like comes rolling up with her cart right by me. And I'm like looking at her, like trying to glare with my eyes. And I just like go around the end of the aisle and then come back around the other side.
You know, the numbers aren't as high as they were. There was a time there last summer into fall where every time I went anywhere, I'd see someone without a mask on, but also wearing that look on their face that says, I dare you to say something. You know what I mean?
I thought you have to wear a mask to get into stores now, and they all have must have a mask to enter.
Yeah, well, they have the signs on the door and stuff. And the thing is compliance with that has gotten better over time because I think stores are enforcing it more. But I still, every once in a while, I still see it.
It depends on the place. Like Fresh Time, I was surprised because it's more of an upscale type of.
Well, Hyde Park Kroger's was miserable. It was half and half for the longest time.
But like the Ace Hardware store in Newport, when a police officer walks in to get something,
no mask,
totally
no care.
Come on, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I still think it's going to get worse before it gets better, even with the vaccine floating around. But we'll see, right?
It's because of the UK strain or whatever.
Are you kidding me? I mean, the COVID virus, by its very definition, which is why they name one every year, or most years anyway, is it's a mutator. It'll change.
The Andromeda strain.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Shit.
Should we talk
Well,
about Brent since he's not here?
I mean, if I don't know enough. I mean, I think it's funny that that he copped to the no Wi-Fi thing, even though it was clearly not true if he was uploading links. But I don't know. I mean, I guess he's real busy, right?
Yeah, I think he's just busy.
He said that he didn't get enough sleep last night.
Well, you'll have that too. I have nights like that.
Oh,
My-
Go ahead.
No, after you.
I was worried I talked too much on these things.
Shit, you? Have you ever I've actually only rewatched like a couple of seconds of a handful of these, usually just to check and see if I actually said something I thought I said.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's an absolute consistent is that I talk on top of every motherfucker on here, and I apologize to both of you. It's like tune into a panel. You can see Scott Haggerty not let his friends get a word in edgewise. It's fucking awful. Right? I was telling Billy, Stevie, that I think what I'm going to do, because this thing actually was reduced to getting my friends together occasionally every few weeks pretty quickly. But I had a really nice run there with a pretty wide variety of people. And we are literally coming up on the year since I started doing it. It was like, here, I can tell you. It wasn't that. It was like early, it was mid-March, I think.
What if you start having the same
It
guests?
was late March.
Yeah, what if you start having the same guests, but then reflect on how their opinions have changed since that week?
See, that's the thing I want to do is I want to try and bring everybody back on exactly a year later and say, what do you think?
You know what?
Last time you said you were getting a sex change operation. You look exactly the same to me now.
You know what? I've been pitching some stories to magazines, and I'm sure this will be the most overused phrase in the near future. Hindsight is literally 2020. How does the world look? Thank you.
I heard someone use that like the opposite it was supposed to be. They were implying that hindsight being 2020 meant you didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm just like, no, wait a minute. 2020 is perfect vision, right? Isn't it? Hindsight's 2020. Well, fuck, man. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, 21 seems pretty much the same, minus the Trump stuff.
Well, yeah.
Well, we haven't got rid of that completely yet.
Yeah, it's nice to see the federal stuff happening, but obviously there's, I mean, to take it in a heavy political discussion, what do you think about the Republican Party right now?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Forever.
If the thing is that's the thing though is if it actually splits, like if it officially splits, like if there's suddenly a Trump party that's separate and different from the GOP,
which is insane that we're even discussing that, but I understand.
But if that happened, it would essentially amount to the dissolution of the right. I mean, it would literally they would lose almost all of their voting bloc. They would literally be ceding control of the country to the left for the foreseeable future. They would.
Yeah.
Which is why it's not going to happen.
That's the aftermath of Trump.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The thing is I think, and we talked about this. We actually had one since the election. We've had a couple since the election, and we talked about this. And I think the just ungodly volume of American people that are still, regardless of what's happened, kind of behind a lot of the nonsense that amounts to Trumpism anymore, means that there's still going to be politicians espousing it, and there's still going to be other politicians turning a blind eye to it, which means it's not going to fizzle out or fade away. But the Capitol was the apex of whatever was going to happen on January 6th. And the fact that nothing's happened since, nothing's going to happen. It's going to fizzle out. The GOP is going to keep playing their same games. It was amazing to me how fast Congress got back to the fucking infighting about the shit that everyone was unified against on the 6th. But it's just going to be more of the fucking same, unfortunately.
When that shit on the 6th was happening, I was thinking at as it was happening, I was like, God damn it, Scott and Brent were right at that one Sistern practice when they said this was going to happen.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I do know this. The one thing, Driscoll was totally freaked out by the 6. Like, he thought it was like an illustration of just how much trouble we were in. And I saw the whole thing. Yeah, it was disturbing to say the least, but I saw the whole thing as also an illustration about how fucking inept that whole movement is.
Yeah.
I mean, without the mistakes and ineptitude of the Capitol Police and the lack of response that was obviously hampered, that wouldn't even happen at all. And the fact that as soon as there was a force in there to handle it meant that everybody went home with their tail between the legs told me all I needed to know about them. But Brian actually thought there was going to be, he thought this QAnon stuff about this coup at the inauguration where they were going to roll in and arrest all the Democrats and the media and reinstall Trump on the actual inauguration. Brian actually thought something was going to happen. And I, it's just going to fizzle out, and it's going to keep simmering, and we're going to keep having leaders like Matt Getz or whatever his name is, and this Marjorie, whatever her name is. What the
Green?
fuck's her name? Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene or whatever her name is. We're going to keep having leaders like that as long as we have a solid third of our country that believe the bullshit they espouse.
They believe lasers from space, guided by Jewish bankers.
Can you guys see that thing? I forget what university it was, but some group of kids last it wasn't last year, it was 19, and they did this whole study. They literally just did this like as comprehensive poll as they could, and determined that more Americans believe in the flat earth now than have ever in history. Now
I can't even wrap my head around that one.
I can't. It's like one of the easiest fucking things in the world to disprove. You can disprove flat earth shit by watching the local weather news, It's just, but it's just.
Today's National Weather Person Day.
Is it?
Who's your favorite local weather person?
Who's the girl on Channel 5? Elise, shit, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can choose a male.
I can't choose a male. I always, he's not around anymore, but I always kind of had an affinity, not sexual, my apologies, for Tim Hedrick. I always liked Tim Hedrick. Tim Hedrick, do you remember Tim Hedrick used to do that thing where he'd go out on the west side somewhere and grill out with somebody on a Friday and do the
Grilling
news
with
from their
Tim.
backyard? Yeah. It was so Cincinnati and stupid, and I fucking loved it. And people were so excited to
Was
be
that
on
Channel 12?
I can't remember. He was no Ira Joe Fisher writing everything backwards, but he was pretty entertaining. No, now anymore. I see. That's the thing, is it's pathetic anymore. I like my newscast based on how many young, attractive women are on it.
Yeah, I was talking to Bob Gale.
Yeah.
And Billy Busick today.
Yeah.
About the very subject
of newscasters.
Allison Rogers on WLWT.
Yeah, Channel 5, man. Channel 5 has done, and I'm not taking anything away from qualifications. They're all very talented. They speak very well. They seem very intelligent. But Channel 5 certainly has up the ante as far as physical appearance. In my humble opinion. There's a beat reporter named Helena Battaglia or something like that. She's awesome. See, I can't. What is it? Do you know what I'm talking about, Stevie?
Yeah.
Battaglia. I can't remember. But I've literally just these last 3 minutes with all my fucking old man sexist diatribe shit about local news girls means I can't post this.
I think it's just been worse.
It's fine by me.
Oh no, that's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but most of the time, unless there's something really interesting, most of the time I just throw it up on the YouTube channel. I don't put it on Facebook.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll give a shit either way.
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody.
Oh, by the way,
yes.